Hi everyone, it's Andre De Grasse here. The Tokyo Summer Games are coming soon, and I can't wait. The Race With Me Virtual Challenge will be celebrating International Olympic Day on June 23rd with our friends from all around the world. So make sure that you sign up for our Olympic Day celebration where you'll hear from Olympians like me. Remember, keep moving, Canada.
Hey everyone, it's Olympian Sarah Wells here, and I am so excited for Olympic Day, where I want you to come and join me, where we're going to talk to some amazing Olympic athletes, celebrate this day of being active, healthy lifestyles, and achieving those Olympic principles of high performance and pursuit of excellence. So I'm looking forward to seeing you guys there. Olympic Day, let's go. Hello everyone! Oh my gosh, it's Olympic Day! Let's go! Who saw their school name there when you saw the first photos and credits coming up? Anyone see their name there? Saw their school? Give themselves a little shout out. I can see your comments coming through. You guys are excited. I'm excited. And as I said in the video, my name is Sarah Wells. I am the founder of the Believe Initiative. I am an Olympic 400-meter hurdler, Pan Am Games silver medalist. I also happen to be the runner-up on the Amazing Race Canada with my good friend Sam Effa, and I am honored to be here today with tens of thousands of you are here today, teachers, students, joining to celebrate the International Olympic Day. And before we get into the athletes and the Olympic spirit, we want to start with a land acknowledgement because this is a special week. So we are gathered on the ancestral lands and waters of all Indigenous peoples who have left their footprints on Mother Earth before us. We respectfully acknowledge those who have walked on it, those who walk on it now, and the future generations who have yet to walk upon it. As we celebrate National Indigenous Peoples Day this week, we respect the long-standing relationships that Indigenous nations have to the land and acknowledge historical and ongoing injustices to the Indigenous peoples endured in Canada, and will contribute to the respectful relationships through our conversations, teaching, and community service. So thank you all for joining us here today. We are so excited to celebrate the Olympic spirit on International Olympic Day. And not only is today the International Olympic Day, but it's also 1 month before the Tokyo Olympics. Can you believe how fast they're coming up? It's here, guys. We are excited. There are 700 schools, 1,000 teachers, 30,000 students are here. 30,000. I'm looking over into the chat. My goodness, you guys are excited. There is so much action happening right now. And I hope you guys are wearing your red and white colors because we have some inspiring athletes for you to hear from. We're going to celebrate that Olympic spirit, and hopefully you'll learn a few tips on how to build resilience and set goals. So questions were pouring in even before today. So we were asking you guys, what do you want to know? What do you want to ask these athletes? And the chat's open, so feel free to dump some of those questions in the chat now if you didn't ask it beforehand. And we'll be collecting those questions so that when we have our special guest later, you guys can ask those questions to the Canadian track star, Khamica Bingham, near the end of the event. So let's get into this, right? All of you know Andre De Grasse. He's a big part of the reason why we're here, and he actually has practice later today. So this morning, we're going to kick off with him. And of course, you might know he is the 100 and 200 meter Canadian champion. He then went on to compete against Usain Bolt, winning 2 bronze medals and 1 silver medal at the 2016 Rio Olympics. And he's absolutely one to watch at the Tokyo Games. So from one of the schools that are here today, Father Michael McGivney and Milliken Mills, give it up for your alumni, Andre De Grasse. Andre, what is up?
Hey, Sarah, how you doing?
I'm good. We're pumped. Today's an exciting day, Olympic Day. We have thousands of students here that are so pumped to chat with you and certainly want to hear about what do you think about everyone who's joined the Race With Me virtual challenge?
Oh, yeah, it's been amazing. I've been hearing a lot of feedback and seeing a lot of stuff on social media. I can't believe how many people have actually participated and they're just enjoying it, enjoying this challenge. enjoying just getting out and seeing that their times are dropping every single week. So it's been really fun. I've really been enjoying it, and I look forward to closing out the final weeks here of the Race With Me Challenge.
Yeah, and it's like right in tandem with you kind of finishing up your training, getting ready for Olympic trials later this week, which is super exciting. We also have a ton of students from your old high school, Father McGivney, here. And so they've really embraced the challenge. What words of encouragement do you want to offer them today?
Yeah, for me, I mean, just go out there. I always try to tell people, go out there and have fun, just enjoy it. That's what I do every time I step out on the track. I really just enjoy the feeling, enjoy the atmosphere. Of course, hopefully you have some friends or family there pushing you on every step of the way, telling you that, every 100 meters, your time, you just keep going. But really, I just try to tell people, just go out there and have fun. And of course, if every week that you're getting better, just try to, work on your technique, make sure that you're continuing to stay hydrated. Continue to do that, your times are going to significantly drop.
Yeah, I love that. And you just mentioned how, you hope that they had people out there supporting them. And I think you've been a big inspiration for many of the athletes that are participating. And so we wanted to ask you, who's your inspiration? Who do you look to for that?
Yeah, right now my inspiration is like literally just like my girlfriend. Like, she's amazing. She just came back from having our second child. So for her, like, she just does an amazing job. Like, every time she pushes herself on the track, every time, she's a hurdler. So I just really enjoy watching her. Right now, she's kind of like my inspiration.
Again, major brownie points, I'm sure. So tell us more about the training and preparation for the Olympics. Like, how has the pandemic affected your training?
Yeah, at first, 2020, when pandemic first started, it was tough. We were training on like grass fields and just anywhere that we can find in that moment, because everything was just shut down and closed.
Right.
So I just tried to do my most, the most I could at home. Do stuff at home, do stuff around my area. I have like a grass field beside my house. So I just try to just go in the backyard and try to just, do that. Or there's an empty lot beside me. I just try to do those things, but It's been pretty tough. So, of course, now 2021, things have started opening back up a little bit. I'm actually here in the US. So things have opened up more than in Canada. So I've had a chance to compete. I've had a chance to continue my training and prepare for Tokyo. So I feel like things are going good, and we're headed in the right direction.
Yeah, it sounds like it. And it's great that you were the ultimate version of resilience. I think every athlete this year has been every person really has been, where you have to find a way. And whether it's parking lots or grass fields, it's certainly not a track, but you found a way to get it done. And that's going to set you up well for this summer. Tell us when you knew or thought you would become an Olympic athlete.
Yeah, it came late. It came late in my career. I think probably when I turned about 19 or 20 years old, then I kind of figured okay, maybe I have an Olympic dream. Maybe there's something that could happen. I got into track pretty late. I started when I was 16, 17 years old is when I kind of started competing. Then I started taking it seriously about when I went off to college at 18. So I really didn't think anything of the Olympics at that moment. But yeah, when I just started getting better, my times dropping, I hit the Olympic standard. All those things just started clicking and coming together. And that's when I was like, oh, wow, okay, I might actually have a shot.
Oh, I'm good.
I want to make this team. So I would say probably a year before the games happened. So 2015 is when I realistically thought, I was 20 years old at the time. Realistically thought okay, now I have a shot of, making my Olympic dream come true.
I love that. And I think it's really reassuring to a lot of athletes who maybe haven't found their thing yet, to know that you didn't find yours until nearly the end of high school and practically university by that point. So that's awesome.
Exactly.
All right. For the sake of time, we're on our last question, and I'm wondering if you could tell the students who are listening here, who are all those young, up and coming go-getters, maybe athletes, aspiring entrepreneurs, who knows what. So if you could tell your younger self anything, what advice would you give that would maybe be relevant to everyone watching here today?
Yeah, I think it's really just work hard. I tell myself, I know when you're younger, you're a little bit more lazier and lackadaisical, and you just you kind of just depend on your talent or your skill. But as you get older, I feel like I would have told my younger self, continue to work hard, always follow your dreams, stay focused no matter what, and never give up. Never give up. Always give 110%, and your dreams can come true. So that's what I kind of just tell myself every day, even when things are not going well. Always remember to just stay committed, stay focused on the end goal, and always just always have a calendar, to have a checkoff list. Take baby steps. That okay, I accomplished this. Now I'm going to accomplish that. So give a check mark, and and things will go well. So I know everyone always wants to try to hit a home run out of the park, but I always tell myself first base, second base, third base, and then keep going. So I kind of use that logic and try to just tell myself that every single day, and I would just tell that to my younger self.
I love that. I love that. Certainly, like as a hurdler, I feel like you, I also see those checkpoints of like hurdle 1, hurdle 2, hurdle 3.
Exactly.
Yeah. No.
Awesome. Yeah.
COVID has been a wonderful time for all the hurdle puns you could ever imagine. So it's been great. But no, thank you so much for all of that wisdom. I'm sure everyone took away so many amazing pieces of wisdom here. We're just super excited that this challenge was initiated, because I know it got so many Canadians moving. So congrats on what you've done. Good luck at the Olympic trials, and we'll be talking to you very soon.
All right. Thank you so much, Sarah. I appreciate it.
Bye, Andre.
Bye.
It's so wonderful to hear the experiences of athletes where I'm sure many of you have felt the challenges this year, where the pandemic has impacted everyone. And it's reassuring, I hope, to hear the story of even the best in the world are struggling to find ways to get up and move. And there is a way. And that's what's so exciting about what all of you have been participating in with the Race With Me challenge, because you guys have found a way to get active during these times. And that is really thanks to the dynamic duo of Andre De Grasse and Jessie Briscoe, the 14-year-old from Montreal, Quebec, who wanted to create this virtual Race With Me challenge. And now thousands of kids across Canada are on the track running to improve their physical and mental health. And so through the Andre De Grasse Foundation and Jessie Briscoe, they've been raising awareness and funds for youth mental health through Kids Help Phone. And today we're so excited to speak with the co-creator of Race With Me, Jessie Briscoe.
Hi,
Jessie,
Sarah.
what's up?
How are you?
Good,
Hi.
good. We're pumped to have you here.
I'm pumped to be here.
Jessie, we want to know, what led you to create this challenge? Was there a moment? Was there a story? How'd you come up with it?
It was when all my sports got canceled in October, and
Yeah.
even at school too. So I just wanted to see myself moving again, because I was spending a lot of time playing video games and I didn't really enjoy it.
I'm sure you're not alone in that.
Yeah. And so my dad wanted to create a challenge, and so I mentioned Andre De Grasse's name, and my dad had no idea who he was. And so I explained it to him, and then my dad did some hunting and found his team, and now we have this beautiful challenge and a beautiful team. It's amazing.
It's so incredible. What you have started is truthfully inspirational. And I know that you've been battling between your older brother and you guys have been racing the 400. How's that going? And what are your times?
So far it's been pretty close, but I'm ahead by 2 seconds. I'm at 1 minute and he's at 1:02, and same with my other brother.
Wow, so
He's not
you're
really
leading the
happy
charge.
about
You're they're in your dust.
Yeah, I'm happy
That's
about
awesome. And did you guys race last Sunday?
it. Yeah, we all raced, but we were all healing some injuries. So it wasn't our best times, but we still went out there and did it and did our best.
Good for you. Yeah, you got to take care of your body first. Staying healthy is definitely most important.
Yeah.
Why don't you give your school a shout out? What school do you go to in Montreal?
I go to Cooper Academy in Kirkland.
Woo!
I don't
You're
know
that
if they're
Cooper
watching,
Academy.
but yeah.
Is your classmates here today? Are they here cheering you on?
I have no idea. They might be. Hopefully, that'd be pretty cool.
You're like, hopefully.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm sure that they are. Everyone's behind you on this. Besides track and field and running, what other sports do you do?
My main sport is soccer, but I enjoy playing basketball and just trying different sports in gym class. Yeah.
Nice, nice. And is the dream to be in the Olympics one day?
Ooh, that would be an awesome, but I'd have to work really hard, and I might
Yeah.
try to.
Yeah, I have no doubt that you could. Look what you've created here. This is amazing.
Thank you.
And so, for our final question, what is it about Andre De Grasse that inspires you? Like, why did you choose him?
I chose him because, like, when I was watching the Olympics when it was in Rio, I saw a Canadian athlete place third against one of the best runners of all time, and I
Yeah,
was just like, wow, that's really cool. And he's also not like a tall guy, and seeing someone
throwing shade.
close to my height just absolutely tanking people and doing well, it's absolutely amazing.
It truthfully is. He's a very talented guy.
Yeah.
Okay, I said it was my final question, but I lied because there is one more question that popped in my head. That you were a big spark to all of this, and there are many students here watching today that might have an idea in their head that they want to get started. What advice would you give them about initiating something as profound, or even something that could create a small impact? What advice would you give them?
Go for it. Don't hesitate. It's pretty amazing.
That's awesome. I love that. Just take action. Get out there. It's powerful. It feels simple, but you're right that look where we are now just because you decided, like, let's do this. So
Yeah.
congratulations on everything that you've accomplished alongside the Andre De Grasse Foundation and everything you've done for youth mental health. You should be so, so proud. And thanks so much for joining us here today.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Of course. Okay. So we've already had some like incredible interviews, and obviously we've been able to ask some of our questions. I've been seeing some of them come into the chat. I see you out there, people that just want attention, putting your little E's in there. Come on, guys. Let's make this engaging. Let's make sure everyone has a great experience. Let's keep your E's out of here, all right? We want to make sure we get lots of good questions in, so when we get to some of our final guests that we are able to tackle and dig into the juicy stuff that's going to allow all of you to rise above the challenges you may be facing and achieve your really big goals. I haven't shared my story yet of who I am as an athlete, and I speak a lot about the pursuit of excellence and overcoming obstacles as a hurdler. As I mentioned, my joke that Andre didn't laugh at, that I talk about overcoming hurdles all the time. And one of the things is because I had a dream of making the Olympic Games. And right before the London Olympics, I had an injury and I sat out for what was supposed to take 6 months and turned into 9 months. And I had never touched Olympic standard before. So on my first day back to training, I only had 6 months to get back to who I was before the injury and still improve a whole second in order to qualify. And on my first day back to training, I got the word believe tattooed onto my wrist. And I said, when I make the Olympic Games, I'm going to put the rings underneath here. Now, I am not suggesting that you all tattoo yourselves of your goals, okay? Not suggesting that. But I do encourage you to find your word or phrase or quote that reminds you of the strength that you have inside, that reminds you of all of the obstacles you've already overcome to get here today. And write that word down. You don't have to tattoo it onto yourself, but like put it on a sticky note, make it your phone background, make it your computer display, whatever it is to help you bump into that word. Because as silly as believing in yourself can feel, and it goes in one ear and out the other, I saw it work. And I saw it work quickly in 6 months, where I then went to the Olympic trials after overcoming that injury. And 6 months later, I won the Olympic trials, went to the Olympic Games, and finished as an Olympic semifinalist and one of the youngest competitors in the field. And I came home and I finished the tattoo and put the Olympic rings underneath the belief. Because I can look down at this anytime I am pursuing a goal and remind myself, if anyone can do this, it's me. I believe in me. Now, I share that story a lot, but potentially the more important story, especially for everything that's gone on in the past year, is what happened 4 years later when the next Olympics came back around, where I was now a medal hopeful to like make the Olympic Games and go and perform at the highest level. And I had just come off winning a Pan Am Games silver medal, where Andre and I actually both competed at the Pan Am Games, and I won this silver medal. And heading into the Rio Olympics, this medal showed me that I could now go and be one of the best in the world, that this was possible. And of course, I had seen success. I had made the Olympics in 2012, so I was ready at the Rio 2016 Olympics to go win my medal, retire from sport, and call it a career. And just before the 2016 Olympic trials, I tore my hamstring, ripped it open. It made like an explosion noise when it ripped. It was disgusting. And I did everything I could to come back from that injury. And I only had about 8 weeks to heal the hole in my leg. And at Olympic trials, I actually didn't end up qualifying. And I didn't understand, because for 4 years, I had been known as Sarah Wells, the Olympian. And now Sarah Wells, the Olympian, didn't make the Olympics. It didn't add up and it didn't make sense. And I felt like such a failure because I had put so much emphasis on achievement, on being the best, on having to win in order to be seen as valuable or successful. And I'm sure many of you through this challenge have experienced something similar, where just because maybe you weren't at the top of the leaderboard, maybe your older brother or younger brother has a faster time than you, that doesn't make getting out there and moving any less important. It doesn't make you any less successful. And that's what I had to learn through my athletic career, that of course outcomes drive us. They can be motivating. They can get us out of bed sometimes, but that shouldn't be everything. That shouldn't be the only thing we look to for success. Because if I think about it, even though in the London Olympic experience in 2012, when I made the Olympic Games, that was exciting and I was pumped about it. And I built self-belief because I was like, holy moly, I can do this. But when I really think about it, I actually believed in myself more strongly after not making the Olympics in the Rio 2016 Olympics, even more so than when I did before, because I was still a person willing to stand on the start line, go for it anyways, regardless of my circumstances, and find out what I was capable of. And that's why I hope all of you take away that you don't build self-belief through achievements. You build self-belief through action, through redefining success, through, just as Jesse just mentioned to us, like if you have a dream, you have a goal, you want to set something out, like just take the first step, get out there. And sometimes the thing that prevents us from doing that is that doubt in our head that says we're not good enough or we won't get the outcome that we wanted. And so here today, what I want to do with you is help you redefine success, help you take away the emphasis that's all on the outcome, the time, the achievement, the award, whatever it is, and actually look under that and find the elements of success underneath. So if you have a paper and pen, I would love for you to get this out because we're going to do this together. And I'm going to be asking you to type some stuff into the chat. And so if you aren't answering my question, I would appreciate if you did not type into the chat because I'm going to be looking for actual responses. So if you have a paper and pen out, I want everyone to think about what are 3 successful moments in your life. 3 successful moments. If you think about that, moments where you felt like, oh my gosh, this is so exciting. I can't believe I did this. Maybe it was the time that you became captain of a team. Maybe it was a time where you won a certain academic award. Or maybe it was a time where you were just a really good friend. All of these moments, there might be a bunch of others, moments where you felt successful in your life. Now, I see some Camilla. I earned a medal in chess. Amazing. Ada, this is the, I don't know if that was a goal. Oh, it's going up so fast. I can't. When I got Minecraft on my PC, right. Maybe you found something else you're super passionate about. Oh my God, Amanda, read over 300 books. Oh my gosh. Blaze, getting 4th in the track and field first round. Oh my God, these are incredible accomplishments. I made my hockey team, said, well, I don't know if that's your real name or your thing. biking. Oh my gosh, they're going so fast I can't read them. I did a backflip in gymnastics. When I became a lifeguard, yes. My drawings, my swimming medals, and it went too fast. When I passed my grade 9 violin exam. These are amazing, guys. These are incredible moments that you absolutely should be so proud of. Now, I bet you those things didn't come easy. All of those accomplishments, and the more that are piling in here, all of those accomplishments did not come easy. And so I want you to think about, what were the positive character traits that went into you achieving those things? And so if you think about, passing your grade 9 violin exam, the comment that's up on the chat right now, like, I have no doubt you had to be really determined to keep training, to keep studying, to keep practicing in order to pass that exam. For those of you that like made certain sports teams or became a captain of something, if I use this example, I have no doubt you had to show leadership. You maybe had to have a positive mindset. Maybe you had to be resilient. Maybe you had to be ambitious. Maybe you had to be honest. That's a tough one sometimes. Maybe you had to be really confident. I don't know why I couldn't come up with that word. You had to be super confident. Maybe you had to be really brave. In this section, I want you to just pour down like a bazillion positive character traits that went into you achieving those successful moments that we just talked about. What are those positive character traits? Being yourself. Yes, absolutely. Being yourself is a character trait. You had to like lean into your uniqueness. Being persistent. Yes, absolutely. Believing in myself. Respectful was another one that just came in. Hard work. Oh my gosh, guys, these are amazing. Motivated. Oh my gosh. Yes, motivated. Being kind. Yes. These are so good. I'm going to run out of space. Happy. Yeah, sometimes like having those successful moments means on a bad day that you're just like, you know what? I'm going to choose to be happy. I'm going to choose to get out there and do it anyways. And so maybe happy. Maybe being a good friend. So the character traits of like, yeah, we'll say being a good friend I just saw come through. Okay. So if we have all of these here and we look at this exhausted list, like I want you to have a bunch of helpful, consistent. Oh my gosh, these are so good. Responsible, leading. Guys, these are brilliant. Determination. Yes. Responsibility. Okay. So we have our 3 successful moments. And now we've dumped down a bunch of positive character traits that went into us achieving those goals. Now I want you to look at your list, your long list that should have tons and tons of positive character traits. And I want you to start grouping them together. So maybe you have words that are really similar. So you might say, okay, well, happy and confident and positive mindset are all quite similar. So I'm going to group them in a word. So for me, I highlighted them in blue. And if you don't have a highlighter, then you could even just take a pen and you can draw shapes. Like these are going to be all my square character traits. Okay. And then maybe you'll look and say, okay, what's the other ones? Well, maybe determined and resilient and hardworking and ambitious and motivated. These are all kind of one group. And so I'm going to have those all together. And then I'm going to go with kind and honest and being a good friend. So you want to group them all together. So everyone should be working on right now, taking all the positive character traits and grouping those together. So keep working on that, grouping those together. And then the next one I'm going to put in here is leadership, brave. Do I think respectful goes in that one? I might put that one in my yellow group with honest and good friend and respectful. Great. Okay. So now we have a bunch of positive character traits and we've started to group these together. Now from each group, I want you to pick one word from each group. And there should be 2, 3, or 4 groupings. And what you'll do is from each word or from each group, you might say, okay, from my pink words, mine are determined, resilient, hardworking, ambitious, and motivated. The word that feels the most strong to me, the word that resonates with me the most, that feels the most meaningful, I think the word is that when I'm ambitious, like when I have big goals, when I'm ambitious, I set a big dreamy goal that allows me to be determined and resilient and hardworking. So it's the word. I'm going to pick that one from the grouping because it kind of allows me to become the other words from the group. Then in the yellow group, I'm going to pick respectful, both to myself and to the people around me. When I'm respectful to the people around me, I'm able to achieve more. When I'm respectful to myself, when I give positive self-talk, I'm able to achieve more. So that's the word I'm going to choose from that group. And then I'm going to pick leadership from a green group. And then I'm going to pick confident from my blue group. So I have my 4 words now. And so you should have from your groups, great. We have confident, honest, determined, and brave. Sportsmanship, love it. These are great. Kind, confident, and brave, I'm seeing. Confident, honest, determined, and brave. Oh gosh, honest, brave, compassionate, leader, courageous. Amazing. So with those words, because we just talked about how these were the character traits that allowed you to have these successful moments, right? These were the things that you executed, you embodied in order to have those successful moments come to life. And so I want you to write in the third box, whatever words that you just put into the chat for me or whatever ones you've circled. I am successful. And then we put when I am, and then finish that sentence. So I'm going to say, well, I had confident, ambitious, respectful, and leadership. So I'm going to add some extra words so the sentence still makes sense. So I am successful when I'm confident, ambitious, respectful, and show leadership. And now, guess what? This square here, this is your new definition of success. Because now, regardless, when you go for something big and ambitious and exciting and a big goal, when you get to the end of it and you're like, okay, did I achieve my goal? Maybe you did, but maybe you didn't. Now, does that mean you're successful or not successful? No. Because if you look, okay, did I achieve my goal? No, I didn't achieve my goal. But was I successful? Well, come back to your success criteria. These are the things that allow you to have those successful moments. We just dug underneath the successful moments and found these words. And so if you get your thing or not, did I get my goal? No. But was I successful? Well, was I confident, ambitious, respectful, and showed leadership? Yeah, I did all those things. Okay, so I didn't get my goal, but I was still successful because these things, if I keep acting as this person, show up this way, then that's going to allow me to achieve those other successful moments in the future. Does this all make sense? Do you see how this comes together? How we can get so caught up in the outcome and forget that these are the things that lead us to success. Now, once you have that, I put on this worksheet, and if you'd like, I can send you this postcard that you can use to post somewhere. Like I said, you don't have to tattoo anything onto your body, but maybe you're going to use this success criteria card and you're going to put in your words of I am successful when I am confident, brave, and whatever. And then you can cut this out and paste it somewhere where you can see it to remind yourself that this is where your successful moments happen. Because sometimes you're going to work really hard. Sometimes you're going to do all the right things, and that's going to allow you to achieve that goal. But just like my story, sometimes you're going to do all the right things. You're going to work really hard. You're going to be resilient, and it's just not going to work out. But that doesn't make it any less successful. That doesn't make you any less of a leader, any less of a person who should keep achieving, keep pursuing those big, ambitious goals. Now, like I said, if you want this postcard, I'm happy to send this to you. And the way that you can do that is I'll attach it in an email that I'm going to send along to all of you guys, or not all of you guys necessarily, but whoever wants it, because this organization, the Believe Initiative, that we just walked through one of our workshops here right now as we redefine success. We do a ton of leadership training and resilience, and we host events, and we have leadership opportunities and volunteer hours if you are a high school student looking to gather your volunteer hours. And so if you're interested in getting this postcard or hearing more about the Believe conference we're running this summer, or how you can get involved as a volunteer, then you can use this QR code, this side, right here. You can just scan it with your phone, and then a link should drop down, and you can click that, and you just fill out your name and email, and we'll send you all the information. If you're a teacher, maybe just include in the notes if you're like, I would like to hear more, because you're welcome to also reach out and ask us how we can get involved. And then if the Scan Me isn't working, then we're going to drop a link in the chat. And PJ, we might have to drop it in a couple of times because everything is moving up so quickly. But you can also just type into your browser bit.ly BLC Pick Me, which the BLC has to be capital, and then the Pick Me is lowercase in order for it to work. So if the scanning, this thing here is not working for you, then you can use this to just type this into your browser. We put it into the chat and it's there under Andre's name. If we can drop it in one more time, just so it's there, you should be able to copy it and link it in to your browser. Because every single one of you clearly have shown leadership, clearly have risen above the challenges, found a way to move your body through being a part of the Race With Me challenge. And I would love to continue that journey with you guys, with other programs that we run through the Believe Initiative. So again, teachers, students, please reach out. We'd love to have you involved. We have other conference events and volunteer hours. So put your name down here and we'll definitely be able to, oh, and I'm seeing a bunch of names come in. Thank you, Robin, Lauren, Alyssa, Deegan. We've got Mount Pleasant, Peak Buckingham, St. Anne's, William G. Davis, Brockton, Burlington, St. Brendan, my gosh, so many schools. St. Gerard, Charlottetown, Lakeside Public School, Henry Portage Holy Child, Uxbridge Public School. Amazing, amazing. This is so cool, guys. I'm so pumped to follow up with every single one of you, send you the postcard, and certainly be able to send you a few more leadership opportunities, because you guys are absolutely that. You guys have been amazing. I hope that this workshop has been helpful to help you redefine success. And I do want to make sure that we have time to still get to tons of your questions. So we have our next special guest coming up. Today is actually the 1 month start till the Olympics on July 23rd. And so, and it's a 2 month start or 2 month countdown from the Paralympic Games on August 24th. And so Canada has an incredible history of success in Paralympic sport at the both Summer and Winter Olympic Games. And today we are thrilled to be speaking with Marissa Papaconstantinou. I'm not nailing it. I have it. Marissa Papaconstantinou, a para-athlete and blade runner in the 100 and 200 meters, posting a Canadian best time of 13.15 seconds in the 100 meters. Marissa attended her first Paralympic Games in Rio when she was only 16 years old. Isn't that insane? Is that real? My goodness. She is absolutely the pride of Paralympic Toronto. She is incredible, a teammate and friend. Let's hear it for Marissa Paps. Hello, Marissa. Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
We are so pumped. We have thousands of students on the other end here that are just like dying to know all of your preparation, your mindset, everything. So tell us, like, first off the bat, like, what are your motivation tricks? And like, specifically, how do you overcome that like mental tough stuff?
Definitely. So there have been a couple things I've kind of learned and navigated over the past year and a half, especially through the COVID-19 pandemic. I have done, firstly, I started to journal a lot more. So I kind of write my feelings down on paper, or what I've also done is write intentions of a specific training plan or what I want to accomplish on a given day. So it kind of just allows you to focus in on one or two things and take the pressure off of the million and one other things that you can possibly think and have going on in your mind a million miles a minute. So that's definitely something that I've started to do more. And then the second thing is doing some mindful meditation and breathing exercises. I just have an app on my phone. I use Headspace that really helps me. And whether it's just like a sleeping meditation to help go to bed and have a restful night's sleep, which is amazing for obviously recovery. And then I also do like some breathing exercises throughout the day if I'm feeling anxious or nervous. So that's definitely something that has helped me continue to remain focused.
I think those are so important because it's not just if you're a high performance athlete where those are relevant. Like every student or teacher or, family friend member that's here right now can use those in their own lives for exactly what you said, feeling anxious, having an intention of what you want to accomplish. And so those are brilliant. So there are actually quite a few Toronto District School Board schools here today, and we know that you have a special family member, a part of the board. So tell us what they do and what's your connection to the TDSB?
Totally. So I grew up in the TDSB school board. I went to elementary school at St. Andrew's Public School. And both my parents work for the TDSB. So my mom's a teacher and my dad's a principal at a high school. And I hear about TDSB all the time, about school all the time. It's just a constant conversation in my household. So a lot of my cousins are also teachers in the TDSB as well. It kind of runs the family.
Everyone's like here supporting you right now. Look, guys, Marissa knows what's happening in your life right now. Like she's like, I get it. Okay, so obviously, as a Paralympic athlete, there are different classifications, and some of the students on the webcast today might not know the difference. And so can you tell us more about your classification, specifically the T64?
Sure. So previously I was a T44, which is, it was a very broad classification that was considered an impairment below the knee. So that could mean an amputation, that can mean limb deficiency, where you still have your residual limb. And now the Paralympics has changed the classification to have the remaining T44 classification as an impairment below the knee. However, now there's the T64 classification, which I am in, that is an amputation or limb loss below the knee on one leg.
Got it. Okay. So they've made that distinction to like refine the category and make it more fair across the board. That totally makes sense.
Yep.
Love it. Okay, so we're running out of time, and this is not enough time because you have so many brilliant things to say. But the last question I'll ask you today is, you, like Andre, didn't specialize in track and field until high school. And so what sports did you play growing up? And if you weren't going to the Paralympics for track and field, what sport would you choose?
So I loved so many different sports growing up. My parents definitely encouraged me to do a lot of different ones to see what I really liked. Like basketball, tennis, skiing, gymnastics, soccer. I played for 13 years. And I did soccer and track actually at the same time for a few years until I decided to move on from soccer and just specialize in track and field. Right. But I think something I've always really enjoyed to do recreationally that I could see myself doing competitively is downhill skiing. I think there are transferable skills when it comes to track, like the strength in your lower body, when it comes to skiing. So maybe one day you might see me at the Winter Paralympics. I don't know. We'll see how that goes.
You put the stake in the ground here and now. Everyone, let's hold her to it. We'll see her at the next Winter Olympics. Like, I've been lucky enough to train next to Marissa, and she is very fast and very powerful. So
thank you.
I can see it. It's in your future. Well, thank you so much for all of your wisdom, your brilliant motivation tactics, sharing your story. And we were just so honored to have you here today.
Thank you, Sarah.
Thanks, Marissa. Bye. Aren't they just amazing? Like, don't we just have the most incredible guest speakers here today? Andre, Marissa. It's just been so fun to celebrate with all of these athletes because this is what it's about, like true stories of what it's like to experience their day to day. And I hope it shows that all of you that they aren't these superhuman creatures, that they are human beings that are also rising above the challenges, also trying to work on their skills to just become the best version of themselves. And so I hope you've learned some things today and you've been inspired. We have tons of questions coming in the chat. We've seen them all through the event so far. And so to close out today's event, we actually wanted to do some Q&A with a great friend of mine, Khamica Bingham. And Khamica is a fierce competitor, like all-around athlete. This girl's a superhero, I swear. She was a national level gymnast, and then she switched to track and field when she was 15 and won the 100 and 200 meters at Ofsted Track and Field. And then she was like, okay, I'm going to be an Olympian one day. She's anchored the Canadian 4x1 team at the Toronto 2015 Pan Am Games, she was a bronze medalist and a silver at the Lima Pan Am Games. And she also anchored Canada to the 6th place finish at the Rio Olympics. And she'll be competing at the Olympic trials this week in Montreal for a spot on the Tokyo Olympic Games. So let's make sure we are channeling all our positive energy to Khamica here today. Meeks, what's up?
Hi.
Hello. How are you doing? Good. We're so pumped to have you here. This is really, really exciting. We have a ton of questions here, and I'm like going to scroll back so I can make sure I find some golden nuggets here for you. So we have a question from Nicole Barnes that said, Johnny from my class wants to know how he can get faster at running.
So there are so many things that you can do to help you that we do in our training to get faster. So one is running. I think the more that you sprint, the more that you run, and if you work on your form, your running form, you jump, and, you just really work really hard and just keep running, I think you're going to get faster.
Right. It's like training specificity, which means the thing you want to be better at, you got to put in the work. And so, that's what you're doing day in, day out, sprinting as fast as you can. Should see Khamica get groceries. Cool. So our next question is actually from Tessa in grade 5, who said, what is it like in the day in the life of an athlete?
So I feel like I'm an athlete 24/7. You don't really turn it off. As soon as you wake up, you have that nutritious breakfast, and then you get to the track. And, for me, it's just more about having so much fun and enjoying this process while I'm at the track and making sure that I hydrate, drink lots and lots of water, eat your fruits and your vegetables. And then when I go home, it's like really important to do the little things, making sure that I'm getting enough sleep and making sure that I'm taking my vitamins and taking care of myself on and off the track.
That's awesome. Yeah, it doesn't end when you finish your day, right? There's so many other elements that you have to ensure that you can prepare to get back on the track the next day. So it is 24/7, 100%. Our next question is from Alishba. What inspired you to join the Olympics?
So I was a young girl, and oddly enough, I actually watched Perdita Felicien at the 2004 Olympics.
Woo!
And that was the first time I've ever watched an Olympics. And I remember, even though she hit the first hurdle, to me, like, my whole family was like, oh my gosh, she was supposed to win. And I thought it was just amazing that a Canadian was supposed to win the Olympics. Like, that alone for me, I was like, I want to go to the Olympics, and I want to be someone that, like, is supposed to win or actually wins. And so for me, it was just about, I wanted to push my body to the limits and just see how far I can go. And the Olympics is the highest stage for sports. So I was like, if I can get there, then there is no limit on what I can do.
I love that. And you've done it now more than one time, competing on the world stage and being one of the best. And so you've certainly secured that spot if you did it. St. Jerome School asked, what was your favorite grade in school and why? Ooh, I'm so curious.
Ooh, my favorite grade. I actually loved grade 5. That was when math was easy and fun for me. I had the best teachers that year. Like, grade 5 was just like the first year of, like, I don't know. It was just an amazing year. I loved grade 5. Nothing could beat that year.
I love it. And we got tons of grade 5s here in the audience. So you hear that, grade 5? You're living the dream right now. You're living the dream. Okay, and so I think we kind of answered this question of how did you discover you want to be an Olympian? So it was largely because you watched Perdita on the show. So maybe we'll flip over to, do you like being an athlete? Yeah, Isla.
I love being an athlete. I think I was an athlete from when I was a kid. I was just active, always wanted to race people, always wanted to flip. I tried so many different sports. I was a national level gymnast, but I did soccer, basketball, swimming, like figure skating, every sport you can think of, like, I did. And I think it just taught me so much about myself and helped me grow into the person that I am. Like, besides just being healthy, I don't think that I would be the Khamica that I am today if I wasn't an athlete.
I think that's so reassuring for so many student athletes to hear on the other side that, like, you didn't specialize and you didn't know what you were going to be good at, and you just experimented and tried with so many different things, and that actually allowed you to become a better athlete. It's not that you have to know what you're good at, be in the sport right away and train for, everyone doesn't have to be a Tiger Woods. Like, you can lay a solid foundation and become one of the best in the world. So I love that.
It finds you. Like, I think a sport will choose you. At this point, if you don't choose it, it will choose you.
I love it. We have a great question here. I don't know what the real name is, but it says, what inspires you and what keeps you going?
So my why keeps me going. My love for sports. And honestly, I think for me, just knowing that I'm blessed to be able to do what I can do. I lost a teammate, Andre Barnaby, and I've also recently lost my mom 3 months ago. And so they are like my inspiration. Like, my angels are my inspiration because they're no longer here. And I want to be able to do what they're not able to do. And for anyone that is in that position where they want to run or they want to do sports and they can't, like, that is such an inspiration for me to do it for all of those people.
That's so beautiful. And I have no doubt you have many angel wings behind you helping you cross that finish line later this week. Okay. Orange 64 is in grade 2. Don't worry, your best years are yet to come. My question is, what do you do to prepare for the Olympics?
I think for me to prepare for my Olympics is to really enjoy this process. And I think setting small goals and focusing on those small goals instead of this big destination goal. The Olympics can seem really big. It can seem really, really scary and nerve-wracking because it only happens once every 4 years.
Right.
So I think what really helps me to prepare is just focusing on what I can control. I can't control the results. I can't control, there's a lot of things that I can't control. So if I can focus on what I can control and taking care of myself, training really hard, doing everything that I can so that when I look back, I'll be like, you know what? I gave it my all. I believe in myself. I gave it my best, and I truly enjoyed every little step of this process.
I love that. And maybe like even a little bit, I'll add to this, then we'll get to the next question on here, but like, and so that's what you're doing to prepare. And then like, what does it look like on a day-to-day basis of like, what is a training day specifically? Like, what does a workout look like right now heading into the Olympic trials?
So plyometrics, so like jumping, we'll do jumping, a lot of sprinting. So it's really technical. So we'll do like 120s, like we'll run 100 meters, 120 meters. And it's more about like race modeling. It's more about like going through your race plan and fine tuning that. So you don't want to overwork yourself right now. Right now it's kind of more about, getting great intensity in, but just really focusing on executing your race.
Yeah. I bet you, like, I know from my lived experience as an athlete too, it's like there's quality work and then there's quantity, like how much volume. And it's like in the fall or early days, it's a lot of quantity, a lot of volume, and the quality doesn't have to be as good. But as you get closer to the competition period, you're in full-blown quality only at this point.
Yes.
I love it. So great question here from Schwinner Plays. Are you competitive? Because I am, and my parents say that it will help me grow, but it can also be my downfall. Is this true? And how do you deal with that? So insightful. Love that.
I am very competitive. I think, you have to have a competitive mindset in order to, grow and elevate yourself into in sports to get better. I think my sense of competitiveness is more about me being competitive with myself. So if I better my goals and I am better than I was yesterday, then that is all that matters. But if I can constantly compare myself and I'm competitive with just other people and that's my focus, then I lose sight of what I can do and my journey and my process. So be competitive against yourself, beat yourself every single day. And I can guarantee you that's how you will just keep climbing and growing.
I love that. And it almost like loops back into what you were talking about before about focus on what you can control. Like it is about that. Exactly. Like you can't control if you're going to be competitive against other people, but what happens to them or how much, like what other resources they have access to, but you can absolutely control being competitive with yourself. That's lovely. Would love for you to answer my question, Azra. But how much a day do you exercise? So how many like hours, I guess, maybe?
I would say about 3 hours. 3
Okay.
hours a day. is when total training from when you warm up to when you are cooling down and stretching is probably the time that we're at the track. But like we said before, we're like a 24/7 athlete. So when you go home, you know, you're rolling, you're stretching some more, you're hydrating. There's so much, you're getting massages and taking care of your body. So technically 3 hours, but really it's like 24/7.
Endless, yeah. Do you still get nervous when you race? I know for me, like I always tell people like I was not a calm athlete where it'd be like, it's not just butterflies in your stomach. It's like vampire bats with machetes being like, gah, 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 gah. Like, how do you feel about that?
I am very, very nervous. And for me, I think it helps me. Like if I am not really nervous, I don't have those jittery bugs, those butterflies in my stomach. Then I don't feel like, you know, I have that adrenaline to like really give it my all.
Right.
But yeah, no, I still get nervous. And for me, it's just more about channeling that nervousness to making sure that it doesn't hurt my performance. So I come to my breathing and I just control that with like breathing right before the race. But you know, I run 100 meters. It's really fast and it's really short. It's not like the 400. So I need all that extra adrenaline and that jittery bugs to get me to the finish line.
I love that. It doesn't have to be a negative feeling. Like it can be something you harness, own, and use to bring out the best version of yourself.
Yes.
All right, Abel from St. Domenico Savio in grade 5. What do you like best about the Olympics, summer and winter? And what do you like worst?
Okay, I'll start with the bad. The worst is that it comes every 4 years.
Yeah.
That's the worst thing, you know? It's just it's an amazing experience, but to happen just once every 4 years is kind of like, man.
Yeah.
You know?
It's a long road, yeah.
Yeah, it's a long, long road. And the best experience I think is just when you like step out there and you're wearing that Canadian, the leaf on your chest, and you know, you're not just racing for yourself at that point. You have a whole country on your back, and you have all these supporters cheering for you and rooting for you, even though they may not even know your name, just because, you know, you're a Canadian athlete. They're like, go Canada! Like, I just love
you. Yeah.
Yeah, like I just love the unity. It just feels so much bigger than yourself.
It's so true. Like, it's so lovely to see people come together. Like, there's nothing better than that. So, Khamica, this has been an amazing conversation. I think you have brought so many amazing little golden nuggets to the audience here today. And if anything has resonated here today, whether it's from Andre or Marissa or Khamica, like make sure you take a picture of the screen, tag Khamica. I think we have the social media handles for both Andre, Marissa, Khamica, and myself, but I've said too many words, so more about them. But it has been so wonderful to have you. Thank you so much for joining us. And everyone else on the other side, we have prizes coming up. So stay tuned. Those are next up. I don't necessarily have the prizes. I believe that they are taking place on PJ. I thought you were doing them. So there is, let me read our tape here. We have a $20 gift card from our friends at Petro Canada. And so Mr. Bill Murray at Annie Foot School in Calgary, you are the winner of the exclusive Tokyo Olympics collector pin set and a $20 gift card for the Petro Canada gift card. This is kind of hilarious. This is live events. Isn't this fun? So next, Anne, I'm saying your last name right, Anne Gentz of Golden Learning Center in Red Lake, Ontario. You have a $50 gift card to Sports Check, courtesy of our friends at Canadian Tire. So, and congratulations, super exciting. Procter & Gamble is giving Nancy Lockhart at Q Beach School in Toronto. You also have a gift card. I think I missed the front half of whatever that is. A box of $250. Oh, dang. You're living the dream. Okay, so you get a gift box of $250 retail at Procter & Gamble products courtesy of Procter & Gamble. So Nancy, get excited. That is your prize. Okay, and autographed copies of Andre De Grasse's picture book is to be released on July 6th. And so Alyssa at Silver Creek Public School in Mississauga, Ontario, you will be getting one of those. So you'll have to wait a little bit for your prize, but very, very exciting because you got his picture book. How cool is that? Trisha from TDSB Virtual Elementary School and teacher Julia Citino, who is a supply teacher with the Haldimand Norfolk Catholic District School Board. This is hilarious. I haven't looked over at the comments to see how you guys think about these really weird prize deliveries, but hopefully everyone is enjoying my terrible Vanna Whiteness. So Trisha, you got autographed copies of Andre De Grasse, and I believe that is the end of the prizes. Is that correct? Congratulations to all of the prize winners. I hope that you guys have enjoyed today. I really do. Like, I cannot believe that this hour has just like flown by. But certainly, we are honored that you guys would spend this time here today. Andre, Marissa, Khamica, and myself, we all want to thank you, the Andre De Grasse Family Foundation, and of course, Race With Me for presenting today's Olympic Day event. Thanks to, again, Andre, Jesse Briscoe, Marissa Papaconstantinou, yes, nailed it, Khamica for spending the time with us today, and all of you teacher and students out there who are on the webcast. We just really hope that this was a memorable Olympic Day and a celebration that shows the pride across Canada that Khamica and I were just talking about, how wonderful it is to see people come together. So 1 month to go to the Olympic Games. We are so ready to cheer on Team Canada. My name is Sarah Wells. You can find me at Sarah Wells 400MH, like 400-meter hurdles. Big regret on the Instagram handle. It has been such a pleasure to be your host today. I hope to meet many of you soon. Again, my organization is believeinitiative.com. If you did not get to put your name in for follow-up resources, again, here's the QR code and link. Happy Olympic Day, everyone. Thank you, Andre. Thank you, Jesse. Thank you, whole dream team who made this come to life. Have a great day, everyone.